lab status is ready. So here build your own VPC and launch a web server. You had to create your own VPC. I think earlier this was a challenge lab, but now they have converted and launched a web server. Ready, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So just launch your system. The console is ready. Thing is that this is the diagram, customer diagram. Okay. So you can access the console, create your own VPC. He has given some, easy things also, some important notes here. So there is also an allocation of your elastic IPs. So select VPC under networking. So elastic IP is also allocate IP. Here you are basically creating your own IP, elastic IPs. Earlier the elastic IPs were created already, but here you are creating your own elastic IP. You need to create your own lab VPC, availability zones, anything, and you need to create subnets, public subnet and private subnet. 2 subnets are required. Okay. Select the box and search the displayed address. We will select the box and create the VPC. So we need to create the VPC, create the subnets. So he has given the subnets values, everything. Create the route table, create subnet and add routes, create VPC security group, launch a web server instance. Okay. Ready, everyone, and test whether website is functional. Yeah. Ready, everyone?
Yes, sir.
So in the details also, you can see some information. Okay, you have only PPK file, leave that. Nothing else is there. No running instances, no running. We have to create our own instance. Okay, right from the first step, you can see, start the lab, first 3 are over, create your VPC. So first go to VPC dashboard. And I am expecting everyone to do along with me. Okay, and also later. If you do this lab independently, you have done most of the things, I tell you. Again, this lab will be repeated more or less in a similar fashion, even in AWS. So this is the VPC dashboard. So here, once you click your VPCs, there is no VPC. This is only the default one. This is only the default one. Just see that. So first is that let us learn about elastic IP creation. Elastic IP, he has given, we will go step by step. So go to network and say, where is that elastic IP? Yeah, elastic IP is here. In your VPC is new elastic IP. Click that. So if anyone doesn't understand, please ask me. So the other day, the elastic IPs were created. Now you have to create, you have to allocate your own elastic IPs. So just see that in elastic allocate and say allocate. So you should see one VPC, IP address. So Amazon's pool of IP v4 address, don't change anything, just leave it as it is. Leave it as it is. Just say allocate. One IP will be allocated to your dashboard. So if anyone wants me to stop, please stop me. Done, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Yes,
this
sir.
elastic IP, we will associate to something else in the later part of the lab. Later part of the lab, but not now. Right. So scroll down. So now you have to create your VPC with subnets. With subnets. So the VPC name is lab VPC. So this one, lab VPC. Right? And you see the VPC is 10.0.0.0. This is the box. green color 10.0.0.0/16. There are two subnets which you need to create. One is public subnet 1 and the other public private subnet 1. So the IP address is 10.0.0.0/24, 10.0.10/24. Understood till now?
Yes, sir.
VPC and subnets. So let us create the VPC first. Your VPCs, create a VPC, VPC only. So provide this VPC, lab VPC. What's the range? 10.0.0/16, 10.0.0/16. You can give that exactly. 10.0.0.0, sorry, /16. Give exactly. If you are, I mean, anything mistake happens, it won't work. 10.0.0/16. Tags is lab VPC. Create this lab VPC. Yeah, if you check your VPCs, it should show lab VPC with 10.0.0.16. Done, everyone?
Done, sir.
Fantastic.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Go to subnets. We have to create two subnets. So forget about all these four default ones. Create a subnet. Select the VPC as lab VPC. Okay. The subnet 1, he asked you to create two subnets. One is public subnet 1, the other is private subnet 1. You see this? Public subnet 1. No, not this. Public subnet 1. Give that public subnet 1. Public subnet 1. Availability zone, he mentioned as no preference. You see this? At the top also he has given. Okay, public subnet 1, choose the first availability zone. He has given very clearly. Availability zone, the first one, that is 2A. The first one is 2A. You can create. So what is the range? What's the range of public subnet? 10.0.0, not this, here, 10.0.0.0/24. 10.0.0.0/24. Understood till now? I didn't create till now.
Yes, sir.
So give this exactly public subnet 1, 2A, 10.0.0.0/16. Sorry, this you are already there. The CADR of your subnet is 10.0.0/24, part of your /16. So add a new subnet. Add a new subnet. One more. So here you say as private subnet, the second one, the private subnet 1. Private subnet 1. Availability zone, what did he mention? See that. Private subnet. Select the displayed IP. First availability zone, the same as used above. Okay. You can see that the same one as above. And here mention as 10.0.1.0/24. See, ensure that you see here private subnet 1, 10.0.10/24. This particular range, you need to be very careful. 10.0.10/24. Fantastic. Just say create subnets. You have created two subnets, public subnet 1 and private subnet 1. Within your lab VPC, this is your CADR range. You are getting 251 IPs. Done till now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, completed.
Task 2. Create additional subnets. He wants to have more subnets. So public subnet 2 and private subnet 2 with a different CADR values, with a different IP values, 10.0.2.0/24. So what will you do? You create more subnets. Select the VPC, select the subnet, public subnet 2. Did he ask any preference? Choose the second availability zone. He asked to select the second availability zone. Select this. Okay, CADR 10.0. right, /24. What's the value he has mentioned? 2.0/24. Absolutely. 2.0. And say create subnet. So you have created the third subnet. Okay, still more, one more. He asked one more subnet. So select this lab VPC private subnet 2. So total 4 subnets you are creating. Private subnet 2, second one 2B. You can check. Choose the second availability zone, and this is the value 10.0.30/24. /24. You are done. So create subnet. So total 4 subnets we have created. You just close this one, you will see all the subnets. Yeah. Do you see? Public
Yes,
subnet
sir.
1, public subnet 2, private subnet 1, private subnet 2. So this is 3.0/24. You should see same thing like that. If you extend like this, you should see public subnet 2, 2.0, private subnet 2, 3.0, private subnet 1, 1.0, and this is 0.0. Task 2 is completed. Just let me know what's done. Four subnets. Just let me know once done.
Done, sir.
Okay.
Done.
Others also.
Yes, sir.
Done, sir.
Right. See the logic here, please understand. So before I start about task number 3, the logic behind is you have two subnets. One is public, one is private. See, the very idea is that in public subnet, you want to host a website. Please remember, to host a website, you need to have internet gateway. Yes or no? So that the public can access this from the internet. Understood? Can one of you acknowledge? We are going to host a web server in this public subnet. And outside people can access this website using internet gateway. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. And you see, we have also a private subnet here. Normally, we have a database server here in this private subnet. And this private subnet, we don't have any public IPs. We will not have any public IPs. You know why? Because internet users are not supposed to access database servers directly. Got it?
Yes, sir.
The logic. Only the web server which is here, the web server which is hosted in public subnet should access private subnet directly, not from the outside people. Did you understand the logic,
Yes, sir.
everyone?
Sir, just once again, sir. Database one.
Okay. The first part is that you have web server here, where public can access the website. Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
So in
Yes,
this
sir.
subnet, we host a database server. That is your backend. That is your backend. This is clear. So
Yes, sir.
your application front end will communicate with backend directly. But outside people should access only website. They should not access this backend directly. Understood?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That is how the logic should be. That is how the logic should be. So once we, that is why we are creating public and private subnets. Public and private subnets. But now there is a database server here in this, right? It is different. In this lab, we may not be able to do all the things, but the logic I am explaining. There is a database server here, right? In this. If it requires any internet-based activities, then how will it activate? How will it? Because there is no internet gateway for this. See, for this private subnet, we don't have internet gateway. Only for the public subnet, we have internet gateway. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Servers can be accessed. We did that using internet gateway. We can access any websites from the server, from your Linux server or whatever it is. You can access ping amazon.com or all those things we have done. But here there is no internet gateway connected to this particular subnet. It is only connected to the VPC, and we will not create any route to this particular subnet. Okay, to this particular subnet, not this. So the servers which are there inside cannot be accessed from the outside world and also to the outside world. Do you understand what's the meaning of from the outside and to the
So
outside?
both from and to.
From the outside world means any users who wants to access this server, that is from. To the outside world means to the internet. These servers require some download. They cannot access because there is no internet. Yes or no? If I want to download a patch, if I want to put it in some Google Drive or something like that, I don't get access. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So for that, what we are creating is that we are creating a NAT gateway. NAT. NAT is nothing but network address translation. So in internet gateway, the users or from the server can have from and to access, both. From and to, both access will be there. But here in NAT, we don't have from and to. You have only to, but not from. From means all the users in different directions cannot access. But here these people using this NAT gateway can access the internet. Understood, everyone?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Yes, sir.
From the server
Yes,
you can
sir.
access. That is called as NAT gateway. How it does basically, these servers, the servers inside the subnet will not have public IPs. Only private IPs will be there. And the public IP is given to the NAT gateway instead of the servers. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Public IP is given to the NAT gateway instead of the servers within your subnet. So these servers, if any user wants to get some data from the internet, what it does, since this is a gateway, the traffic is gone to this NAT gateway. The data, suppose they want to get some download curl so and so website or so and so data. it won't be accessed. So what they do is that this data goes to the internet gateway. This NAT gateway, since it has a public IP, again I tell you, elastic IP, we are going to assign that to the NAT gateway. So what happens is that the data which is brought from this user to this NAT gateway is sent to the internet because it has a public IP. It's sent, and after coming back, it is again sent to the users. Understood? This is called as address translation. Like I don't know French, but I want to talk with a French guy. How will I do? I'll adapt a French translator. In between I talk, that fellow brings the data and he gives back to me. Understood?
Can we say that NAT gateway just act as a proxy server for
Proxy.
communication?
We don't say as a proxy, it's like a translator.
Okay, sir.
Right? Directly it will not do. From the internet, the data cannot be accessed. Only thing is that these people can access to the internet. That is the purpose. That is the purpose of NAT gateway. So today we may not be able to solve all the things, but some of the things. So we have just created 2 more subnets which we may not use. Private subnet 1, private subnet 2, and public subnet 1 and public subnet 2 we have created. Now similarly, a route table for private, a route table for public is needed. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
You know why? A public subnet has internet gateway, private subnet has,
NAT.
NAT gateway.
we will not connect through internet gateway. So this is the explanation of NAT gateway. So we are going to create a route table, one for internet gateway and another for NAT gateway. So let us go through this third part, task 3, route tables. Okay, go to this route tables. You see this. One is already created for you. If you drag, you see that there is a lab VPC, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
One is already
Yes, sir.
created for you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So maybe you can just name this one. Name this one. Name this one as maybe private route table. We will first create as a private route table. Select this. Okay. This particular one, name it. Make a reference. Private route table. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. We will also create another route table. We will also create another route table. What's the name? Public route table. We will give the name as public route table. There will be 2 route tables. Right? Public route table. Select the VPC, lab VPC, and just say create a route table. Okay. When you see route tables, there are 2, but no routes, nothing has been configured till now. Did you see everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So now let us create the gateways, both the gateways, and then create the routes. So first is that let us create this internet gateway. Let us create. Do you have any internet gateway? This is default one, not to this VPC. So what we do? We create a internet gateway. Okay. So what's the name of this internet gateway? You can just verify this. Maybe give internet gateway itself the name. He didn't mention anything. Anywhere it has been mentioned. This lab exercise is a bit different. Okay. So don't worry about that. Okay, just maybe internet gateway. Gateway. Okay. internet gateway and create internet gateway. Finished. One step it has completed. And you need to attach this to your VPC. Internet gateway. You have attached. You have created this name. Attached to VPC. Select a VPC, lab VPC. Internet gateway. Please follow my instructions. The instructions which is there in this lab is not matching this particular sequence. Be careful in this one. So we have created VPC, we have created subnets, we have created gateway, internet gateway. One more gateway we need to create. What is that?
NAT gateway.
NAT gateway. Select this NAT gateway. Select this NAT gateway. Do you have any NAT gateway? No. Let us create this NAT gateway. So name is optional, but still you give. What is that? I'll say NAT gateway. Like internet gateway, I'm giving NAT gateway. NAT gateway. And subnet, we are going to private subnet 1. Private subnet 1. Define that. We are attaching this to this. Connectivity is public. So elastic IP, which you have already prepared, select that. Elastic IP. Necessary, because I specifically said you need to give a public IP to the NAT gateway instead of the servers. So okay, and create a NAT gateway. Done, right?
Yes, sir. Sir.
So it shows pending. After a few minutes, it will come back. It will say it is okay. Right. Now the last part is route tables. The last part is route tables. So select this first public route. Select this first public route. Ready, everyone?
Ready, sir.
Okay.
Sir.
Create
Yes,
the
sir.
route. Create the route. Edit routes. Add a route. 0, 0, 0, 0. What should I do here? What should I do?
So NAT
No,
gateway.
no, this is public. Internet gateway.
So internet gateway.
Internet gateway. And assign and save changes. Fantastic. We did this. In this route table. In this route table. Yeah, public. Public route table. If you see these routes, you should see the route. Internet gateway. IGW. Okay. Next part is we need to associate the subnets, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Subnet associations. Edit subnet associations. Do we need to associate public or private?
So public.
Public. Select both the publics. Public 1, public 2. Both the public subnets. And save associations. This is done. For private, what we should do?
Once repeat it, sir.
This part which we have done yesterday itself. In subnet associations. So here, edit subnet associations and select public. Public. We have 2, that's all. Earlier we had only 1. Public subnets are being and save associations. Right? Yeah, any questions, please ask. So the next important one is, so 2 subnets are associated to public subnets, public route table. Private, do that same. We need to create a route. Edit routes. What should I do now here?
So add route.
Add route. Which one I should select now here?
NAT.
NAT.
Instead of internet gateway, you should select NAT gateway because this is a private one. You already created a NAT gateway? Yes. And say save changes. It is done now. The route table, you can see this route table NAT has been added to your route table.
Subnet
Also, we need to do
associations.
this subnet association.
Subnet.
Which one?
Sub-
Private subnet 1 and 2.
And 2. Absolutely. Save associations. Absolutely. Now everything is done. We created VPC, we created subnets, we created internet gateway. We understood about NAT gateway and created. We also created a route table, public and private. Everything is done. And we have associated. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you see this, there are various subnets which are there. One more thing which you can do at this point of time, take the public subnet. Take this public subnet. Okay. Under actions, edit subnet settings. We want to configure this subnet for public. Automatic assignment of IPs. Okay. So edit subnet settings and say enable auto assign and also enable DNS record, both this ticks only for public, nothing else for. Just a save. Okay, it has been done. This is optional. Later on also we can do, but this is good always to do now. Just select this public subnet only under actions, edit subnet settings, and you see tick this enable auto assign, enable resource based. Yeah. That's all. That's all. The major part is over. The major part is over. VPC group. Now launch a web server. Launch a web server. We are going to launch a web server in the VPC. So how to do that? Go to
EC2
and launch an instance. There is no server here. Absolutely. No instances. Launch an instance. So with the following name. Okay, he asked about you to launch Linux 2. Okay, T2 micro, lab VPC, public subnet 2. Okay, and assign enable with advanced details so and so. Okay, what else? Yeah, you can give the name as web server 1. Web server 1, the name. At the top, you can give the name as web server 1. And in your Amazon Linux, select this Linux 2. Linux 2. Fantastic. It will come automatically here once it is selected. In the summary page also. Yeah, it has come. Linux 2 kernel. Scroll down. So the instance type is T2 micro, leave as it is. The key pair you can select as walk key. Walk key, please select that. Yeah, network settings, you need to edit here. So it's not your default VPC, it is your lab VPC. Lab VPC. And select public subnet 1, maybe subnet 2, that's okay. Public subnet 2. And auto assign, just enable that. Enable that. So security group, what did he mention? Web security group. I think there is already web security group. Select an existing one, which is called as a, I think you need to create a security group. You need to create a security group. So create a security group. The name you give as web security group. Web security group. Web security group. I think the instructions were there earlier. We missed that. Create a VPC security group. We didn't do that web security group. So under description, you can say enable HTTP access. Here, descriptions. Enable HTTP access. And you can give the following ports. Rules HTTP and allowed. You can say SSH is here. And also add a security group rule and say HTTP, because we are creating a web server. Source is anywhere. He has given some description also here. Permit web access, web request. Permit web request. Okay, this is 8 GB, leave it as it is. Advanced details, expand. He has given certain things which are there. You need to copy this script. In user data. Here. Just copy paste as it is. So once again, I show you all the options from the beginning. So it is web server 1. And you can see Linux server 2, Linux 2, Amazon Linux 2, T2 micro, leave as it is. Key pair select as work key. Network settings, select lab VPC. And of course, subnet as public subnet 2, he clearly mentioned. And of course, auto assign as enable. Create a new security group, name as web security group, enable HTTP access. SSH is already there. You are adding something else, HTTP with anywhere, that is port 80, permit web request. Okay, this configure storage as it is. In advanced details, just scroll down to the bottom where you have your user data, copy paste the user data. Done, everyone? If I say launch instance, I can. Ready? Almost this is the last step. I have clicked already launch instance.
Sir, small doubt, sir.
Yeah, please ask.
Sir, in summary section, there is number of instance sections, sir.
Only one. Don't create more.
Number of instances means it depends upon number of users who is using.
Number of instances means number of servers.
Number of servers. Okay.
Number of servers. How many servers you want to create? So this is done. All these things are done. Review, everything is done. Okay. So once this is done, you can go to instances and just wait for a couple of minutes. You have this public IP address or even your public IPv4 DNS. DNS has not come, but it's okay. It's okay. Public IPv4 DNS. Copy this. You should see the website running. If everything is okay. If it's not, just wait for a couple of minutes. Just wait, the server should come up.
Sir, it is HTTP or HTTPS, sir.
Did he mention it as HTTPS or by any chance? Public IPv4 DNS value. I think it is HTTP only. So provide HTTP. It's trying for HTTPS. Yeah, it has come. It has come. So it will take some time, but you see this server. This is the website. This is the website. If you are getting this page like this, you see this one, you are done. The web server is launched.
I got it, sir.
Got it, sir.
You got this page?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Fantastic. If you see this page, you have done successfully. I know it is a bit tedious, this lab, but you can do it. If you practice once or twice, you can do it. So we have successfully deployed this private subnet 1, sorry, public subnet 1, 2, private subnet 1 and 2. We deployed this internet gateway, NAT gateway, and also, of course, we have configured the route table, and also we have created a server in one of the public subnet. That is one subnet here, web server 1 in public subnet 2, and we could access all the things. Right? All of you got it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you can just update in this particular one lab who has completed. Very important one, this one.